Hi, everyone. This is
This
Tony.
is Sean. Welcome to another episode of Tales of a Small Town Bartender, episode 37, if I'm tracking correctly. Uh,
You
Great
are.
stuff. I just have to decompress first before we go on with the show. I had, remember, a few weeks ago, I had my colonoscopy, my first one ever, and just had to
Yes.
go back for a follow up appointment. So
Mm-hmm.
to get the results, and first, just straight off, everything's cool. I don't have ass cancer, so that's a good start. But my whole issue with this process is um, when you do the follow up, there is nothing wrong and with me. I don't know if for anybody else, but the question is why do I have to go back to the doctor's office, who's
Mm.
chronically late? The office is always late, and in my case, I
Yeah.
was at 4:20 p.m. was my appointment, and they were half an hour late before I got called back to the room. They did my weight and blood
Oh,
pressure,
wow.
but it was a $40 copay just to walk in the door to do my weight, blood pressure, and to tell me everything's fine. Thanks for coming. Have a good day. Does
Uh,
that seem?
how's your carnivore diet
It's going
going?
good. Down over a dozen
Yeah.
pounds. Joints feel great. Yeah, still
Yeah.
going strong, but about to start the
Nice.
exercising portion of it here pretty soon. But thanks for asking. But does that seem weird that you? I mean, they can charge the insurance can charge the doc or the doctors can charge insurance. The doctors,
Because you had an appointment.
yeah, the doctors charge
Yeah.
you because you have a copay.
Right.
Why? Oh, by the way,
So even if you canceled your appointment, they can charge you for it because you had an appointment. You know what I
it's
mean?
it's a
It's ridiculous. I
scam.
know.
It's an absolute scam. So
Yeah.
you have been on a couple of trips since we've last done a show. We did take like a little summer break there, which I mean, after that last show, kind of had to. Boy, that was a good one. Let that ruminate and marinate with the viewership, listenership. But you've taken a couple of trips, and one of them
Mm-hmm.
that you wanted to talk about was your trip to Maine. So,
Yeah.
so what was the goal
Hold on.
when you left?
I have to I have to mention something before we start getting into
Okay,
that
please
though.
do.
We missed our 1 year anniversary.
Why was that? Convenience, or you forgot, or what?
No, no.
Oh, our
Our
1 year
you and
anniversary.
me.
How
We missed
already?
it. 7/3, 2023. Our first episode
No
aired. Our first
way.
episode together aired. Yes, we missed it.
The band will have to write another song.
Because we were away. Yeah, that's when we started camping.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to bring
Yeah,
that up
I did
because I
too.
was like, "Oh, we have an anniversary."
I didn't. I, no, I wasn't tracking that. As a typical male. So
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up. So 7-3.
It's been a whole
Yeah.
year.
So today we a year and a couple of weeks now. So yeah, yes, my band will have to write another song.
Yay! So the first one is at the end of our podcast. I don't know if you listened all the way through
I
that.
haven't seen
The
the
last
last show yet.
the last the last two episodes that were in audio. It's at the end. Yeah,
Cool.
of both of them. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tony's sick of it by now, but I keep sending her songs for our podcast, and yeah, she's definitely sick of it 100%. But
No, I'm not actually. They're hilarious. I send them to people. It's funny. I'm like, listen to this.
awesome. If you have any suggestions or if you want any requests, let me know. The band is really good at whipping those up, so we can get one customized for you.
So, what was your question about Maine? What was our
Yeah, what
plan?
was the plan or the goal? Were you just going on vacation? Did you have family up there?
Oh, um, a friend of ours got married here, and then they moved to Maine. So I was friends with her for a while, probably I don't know, over 5 years. And then she met a guy, and they got married, and he moved her to Maine. I mean, she's happy as hell there,
Well, good.
but we hardly ever see her. So we went to visit just for the weekend, a 3-day
Is
weekend.
somebody you met after high school?
Actually, she's been on the show.
Oh, has
Actually,
she?
she's been on the show in the first, season 1. Yes. Yep.
Okay, pardon me, camera adjustment. All right, there we go. I feel a lot better about it now. Thank you. All right, so you went up to visit her. Is she
Yep.
still married?
Yes.
Awesome. So,
Yeah, they've been married a while now. So yeah, we've been friends a long time now.
wow, awesome. So, tell me about the trip.
So, we stopped at the liquor store in New Hampshire on the way up there. I don't know if you knew about the liquor store in New Hampshire.
Mm-mm.
It's cheap. It's
Cheap,
cheap.
cheap.
It's cheap. Like it's probably close to 40% off of New York
Okay, so
prices.
New York cheap, but what about like Iowa cheap?
I don't know.
Give me
Is it cheap in Iowa? I don't know. Yeah.
no. I know Iowa prices because I lived there for a couple of
Okay.
decades. And if you could give me kind of an example,
So we got 2 bottles of Red Stag, which is Jim
yeah,
Beam.
yeah, Jimmy,
We got the big huge bottle of Bacardi Gold. We got rum chata. We got Crown Apple. It was like $120.
two bottles of Stag, the big bottle of Crown,
The big bottle of
oh,
rum,
big bottle of
Bacardi,
regular,
a bottle of Crown Apple,
and one more,
rum chata.
Chata.
It was
Yeah,
$120.
that's pretty cheap.
That's cheap as
Yeah,
hell.
that's
That's cheap as hell.
four small bottles and one basically
One giant one.
handle. I think they call that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm on. I'm a co-host Tales of a Small Town Bartender, and I'm like, yeah, I think they call that a handle.
yeah. They call
Why
that a
am I
handle.
here? Why am I here?
You are absolutely correct.
I'm not sure of it though. Why am I here? Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty inexpensive. That you're one handle and four small bottles for $120. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. So $20 a bottle, and then $30 for the last one. $40.
Yeah, the Crown one was a smaller bottle. It wasn't because I'm the only one that drinks that, so I didn't need a huge
Do
bottle.
you drink it?
But yeah, that's
Do
what I
you,
have. What I have in my glass right
can you
now.
prove you drink it? I may have some advanced.
I what? I
I may
what?
have some advanced intel on your
Oh
drink
yeah.
selection tonight. So yeah,
Oh
so you
yeah.
can prove you drink it.
Okay.
Nice. So okay, so you stopped at the liquor store.
We stopped at New Hampshire in the liquor store.
Basically,
You only go through. So we go up when we hit
mhm.
95. We're only in New Hampshire for like a minute. Like we passed right through real quick. So we stopped. We got it. We got back on the road, and at that point I started driving. My husband was driving first, so then I took over. I started driving. So as we pull onto her road, we're on GPS. Everybody has GPS now. We pull onto her road, and we're all excited because it's 5.5 hours later, 5.5 hour
Long
drive,
drive.
and we pull in her circular driveway. She has a circular driveway. They have a fancy house. And I pull right in front of the door. I pull around the circle, pull right in front of the door. We get out to stretch, and my husband notices there's something leaking out of the back of the van, and it's all down her driveway.
Oh
All down her driveway.
no!
So he's like, "Oh my god, we lost the transmission." And I'm like, "What do you
Oh
mean? It just
no!
drove fine." I'm like, "It was just totally fine. Everything was fine."
Wow!
He's like, "I can smell the transmission fluid burning." Thankfully, Will, the guy we were going to see, and his wife, his friend is a mechanic. So he called his friend up and he came over, and he's like, "Yeah, he usually tells me it's something really stupid. I think it's going to be this big whole transmission thing and it's something really stupid." So he comes over, pulls in the driveway, and he said, "Oh, it's you." And we're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "We saw that leak all the way down the road. It started 4 houses down from their house.
Oh
That's where it started leaking. We made it all the way to 4 houses away from their house.
wow!
Pulled in their driveway, and all it was a little clamp that holds the line, the transmission line on.
Wow!
It let loose and the line fell, and it was leaking the transmission fluid. So we lost a lot of transmission fluid, $100 worth.
That's a lot.
We lost $100 worth of transmission fluid, but we didn't lose the transmission.
That would have been a lot more than
Because if that
$100.
happened, Yeah, if that had happened back in Massachusetts, like we were in Massachusetts forever, we wouldn't have known. We would have kept driving until it died. I mean,
Man, that
and then we would have just been living where we were. Because that's what I said, joking, when we got out of the car and saw that. He's like, "Oh, we lost the transmission." I said, "I guess we live in Maine now."
I feel like a pioneer from the 1800s.
Thank God it was just a clip. Oh my
Yeah, no
God, it was
kidding.
like a literally $7 little clip, and then the transmission blew.
So, Will, we will put you to work. So,
They
thank
fixed
you.
it. Yes, sure. And Will fixed my air conditioner too because that wasn't
Wait,
working.
at your house?
He put some in my
Oh,
van.
oh, I was saying that would have been.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Will really went out of the way for
yeah.
you.
Yes. Not only that, they just came here last weekend. They came because they were passing through to go down to South Carolina, and he fixed my air conditioner again
No.
because I'm leaking Freon. So yeah, every time it starts running out, it stops working.
So, yeah.
So yeah, he knows how to put it in. So
So,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Will's a very handy man to have around. Applause, Will. Good
yeah.
job. Thank you. Thank you for your second.
Thank you, Will.
And then you went
uh,
recently. Was it over the fourth when you went camping?
yes,
That was
we went camping starting on the third.
okay. That
Yep,
was a
the
holiday
third, the
camping
fourth.
sesh.
That was family camping. Yes, my daughter and her husband and my granddaughter and my other son and his girlfriend and me and my husband. Yeah, it was. We were camping in the pits of hell.
Hyde Park? No, I don't know. I'm just.
It was Statsburg.
Oh.
Statsburg. It's a state park. It was hot as hell. It was the hottest. It was the hottest I've ever been camping in my entire life. We go every summer.
Mhm.
Never been hot like that. It was 98 degrees and
Wow.
humid. It was terrible. I don't recommend.
To totally avoid the obvious boy band joke, but 98 degrees.
Bye bye bye. No. Oh, 98
Yeah.
degrees. I was gonna say bye bye bye.
Never mind. I'm not going to.
Uh we had some fun, but it was hot. It's just too hot to camp. We ended up leaving early Sunday morning instead of waiting out
Was there any kind of
Sunday because
relief
I was
there,
like,
like a stream or anything like that?
I mean, it's on the Hudson River.
Oh,
Nobody wants to swim in the
oh,
Hudson River. I mean, you can, but
making white
there was people swimming out there.
making white shirts
But
brown.
yeah, the conservation guy said that the river is the cleanest it's ever been. That's what he said. But I don't trust it. And my husband and my son went magnet fishing. I don't know if you know
Oh
what that
yeah,
is.
I'm a big fan of that.
Where you throw a magnet in.
Yeah,
Okay. So they were pulling out fish hooks left and right. I don't want to go in something where there's fish hooks,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Well, I mean, it is a
I don't
river,
get hooks.
but I'll say they were saying that the Hudson River is the cleanest it's ever been, even back in the 70s and 80s when we were there. Or yeah, when I went to high school down on Montgomery Street, and they were like, "Oh, the Hudson River is the cleanest it's ever been," and it was still a shit show. There's no way I would believe that. Nor would I believe this
Mm.
guy is 2024, the cleanest it's ever
Well,
been ever.
they had some they had some kind of kids class there, like a summer camp or something, and he brought them all out in the river swimming. That's why I was like, "You're going in the water?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, the river's the cleanest it's ever been." I'm like,
Okay, yeah,
"Okay,
all
that
right,
seems kind of
yeah,
weird."
same thing.
He said, "You just have to wear water shoes because there could be fish hooks or whatever in the water."
So I would do the white
But
T-shirt test. Wear a white T-shirt, get in the water, wait 1 minute,
and see what
and
it
then
is.
get out. Then see what color it is.
Okay, you know what? But a girl's not gonna wear a white T-shirt,
Well,
and
no, no, I'm
that's
not
not gonna work.
talking girls, dude.
I mean, it'd be fun for the
Yeah.
guys, but
Oh, why not? We put together these contests all the time.
yeah.
Anyway, I will give you. I want to give you a compliment because you did post some picture on social media of like your camping and your setup. And typically, when people say they go
Mhm.
camping, they're what we call concrete campers, where they have the RV or the fifth wheel.
Oh no, we
This is
tent.
what I'm complimenting you on, because my wife and I are always tent campers, nothing but tents.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, didn't buy a
yeah,
pop up, no easy up, none of that. Or easy up, I mean, no pop up, no fifth wheel, no camper, nothing. Always tent camp.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we always
because
did
that's
too.
camping. And the people that take their entire house with them
Uh
and
oh,
load
I'm
it,
losing you.
right? They
Oh,
load it
there we go.
up. They load it up into a trailer
Yeah,
and basically plug in the electricity, plug in the water, and you're wanting for nothing.
yeah.
You're just basically living in a trailer in somebody else's grass. I mean, that doesn't.
We didn't have we didn't have electric at this site. We have been to other campgrounds that give you electric and water, but we're still in a tent,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, and some.
But yeah, we had the whole kitchen set up and everything. We have our outdoor kitchen.
I was going to compliment you on that as well because you do tent camping, what I consider and well, what I consider correct, because you have your kitchen implements, you have your cooking setup, which is a nice cooking setup. You give yourself the capability of cooking basically anything. There's always
Yeah.
shortcuts like aluminum foil potato slices, stuff
Hmm.
like that. You could just throw on there.
Yep.
But all the old favorites. But yeah, you guys.
Did you read what I cooked there?
I don't recall it off the top of my head, but I did at the time.
I made I made pork fried rice
Yeah,
on that flat top. We have that little propane flat top griddle.
yeah. All,
I made I made pork fried rice on that.
all
Yep.
RV. No RV.
Like
No, no electric cooktop. No, none of that
no.
comforts of home. Just a camping
Yep.
stove and a nice bowl and pork fried rice. That's camping right, in my opinion, man.
It was
Camping
good.
right. You guys do it right, so props.
Yep.
So very hot though, huh?
Oh, very hot. Even at night,
Miserable.
like that's the first time it's ever been that hot at nighttime. Like normally nighttime it cools off and it's okay. I was sweating. I actually drove home and took a shower at home twice.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. You just lost a couple brownie points for that.
I only because it was so hot and everybody was in the bathrooms all the time. It was a holiday weekend, so it was packed.
Yeah.
You know, it was packed. There was not an available campsite open, and everybody was in the damn bathroom constantly. There was only 3 shower stalls in the ladies' room. I don't probably same in the men's, but I mean, when there's 40 people trying to take a shower, I was like, you know what? I'm literally 16 minutes away. I'm gonna drive home.
In the case of extreme measures, I guess you can get away with that.
Yeah. Plus, I had to work Friday night, so I wanted to, get. I had to get ready for work, so
Mhm.
I didn't want to be in camping clothes, and Although there was nobody there that night, and I left at 10 o'clock
Oh, nice.
on a Friday
Yeah.
night. It's holiday weekend, but I was trying to get everybody to come to the bar with me because the air conditioner was on and
Mm.
nobody was at the bar.
Nobody went.
I was like, come to the bar. I got the board. Friday night's game night. I have a ton of board games. I was like, you guys can play games. You can watch TV. You can have a couple drinks. Be in the air conditioning because it was 98 degrees out.
That'd be pretty.
Nope, they didn't want
Oh,
to
that's
come.
good.
They toughed it out.
Yeah, good for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
I used to camp in a place you can Google it. It's actually amazing, especially for Iowa. Yellow River State Forest. It's a state forest, and it's across the river from Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. So you cross the
Oh
river
yeah.
from Prairie du Chien in Wisconsin, cross back into Iowa, and then
I wrote it
head
down.
north. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. No
Yeah.
running water, no electricity, no cell service,
Right.
which I have to
Oh.
remind to tell a story about what happened up there on
Yeah.
fateful summer. It's an
Mm.
incredible story, and I didn't remember it until just now, which I'm so glad that you brought that up. So, because wow, man, wow, wow, that's all I can say. It's the end of the
Yeah.
story.
I can't wait to hear
I can tell it now, and that's cool. But where are we at? Do we have enough time for this? We got 21 minutes.
it.
All right. So Yellow River, nestled between a couple of what Iowa calls mountains, but they're not mountains. They're maybe a few hundred feet high, but they're very rocky and lots of trees and stuff. But you're really down and nestled in a valley. When a thunderstorm comes through, thunder, you can hear it rumble all the way up the valley or all the way down, depending on what direction it comes from. It's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. It's a
Mm.
beautiful, basically camping area with very large sites. But once again, no electricity, pit toilets, no running water, none of the accoutrements from home. You bring everything.
No toilets. That's
They do
rough.
have pit toilets,
That's
but
rough.
those, man, in the hot summer days, like you're explaining, pit toilets
Yeah,
are awful because
they are.
everybody's funk and the flies just feed.
I
So
know.
yeah, it's
Well,
awful. Yeah, but it's a great place to camp, and it's beautiful. And in the morning, there's fog that just intermingles with the trees, and it's just really poetic,
hmm
very stunning. So what used to happen is we go up for a week, and you don't have cell service. The nearest town is 20 some miles away, and the nearest, I mean, small town. It's called Harper's Ferry, Iowa. It does have uh, some, I guess, advanced culture in it. It's not just one stoplight town. Actually, I take that back. It is a one stoplight town, but it does have a store. So,
oh,
so that's the closest is like 20 22 miles away is Harper's Ferry, but the nearest hospital is like 30 miles away, like 35 miles away. Uh, and typically everything just goes fine and uh, nothing happens. But this one year, that was not the case at all. So what happened? Guys would go up basically like on Tuesday. They would set up all the gear, and then guys would just screw off and just hang out, go fishing because there was a stream, a trout stocked stream from the Iowa wildlife
right.
game, and fish and just hang out until Friday when the women arrived. And then the women would arrive for the 3 day weekend, and then we'd all pack up and go home. 3.5 hour drive.
hmm
So my friend Chuck and myself go up on Tuesday. We set everything up, and his brother shows up unannounced with his son, his younger son, who's 17 years old. So we sat around the campfire that night, and you know how it is. You solve all the problems of the world, get completely plastered, and then go to sleep. The next morning, we wake up. It's pretty much a day in the life of Yellow River. There's nobody in the campground at all because it's Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Nobody, not
Oh,
a soul, not a soul.
okay.
And because there's no power, no running water, no concrete campers show up, no RVs, none of that. They're getting a
Right.
little bit more prevalent now with generators, but that's besides the point. But so Shannon, Chuck's brother, was about 40 some years old at the time, and his son Ryan go fishing. And they're down at the creek, which is maybe 200 yards from where we're set up to camp. And and he is coming back for lunch, and he's by himself, and he has a fillet knife. And from the best I can gather, is he took the fillet knife and swiped at a basically a leaf on a bush, missed it, and stuck himself in the groin. So, and I mean in the groin, I'm talking
Oh.
about the space between your groin and your leg. So it hit him in that crease. So I don't know if you know anything about the human anatomy. I'm assuming you do.
There's an artery there,
There's
right?
actually a branch of five arteries
Oh.
come together. So I'm sitting by the trailer on the opposite side of it, and Chuck comes running up and he overhand throws a water bottle and goes, "Fuck, Shannon stabbed himself in the leg. We need to get him out." So I jumped up And I go running over to see, and he pulls his pants down just to his underwear, and out of that place, blood basically pump sprays the width of a McDonald's straw,
Oh my
about
god.
10 to 15 feet, and it did it a few
Oh
times
my god.
before
Oh my
it
god.
exploded.
Pressure, put pressure
Yeah.
on it.
And I screamed at Chuck, I was like, get the fucking truck and back it up here now.
Mhm.
And I ran over to the
Holy
tent.
shit.
Yeah, I ran over to, or not the tent, but the trailer, and I grabbed a whole brand new roll of paper towels and run over to Shannon, and he's standing there, and I just like with a bunch of paper towels, and then just push it right in there, and then Chuck pulls the truck up, and we load him up in the back of the truck. So Chuck's driving. I'm in the bed of the pickup. Shannon's in the bed of the pickup with his pants down, and my hands are face, and I have to keep
Well,
applying
yeah.
pressure. And I know when it's not enough pressure because I can feel my hand getting warm through the paper
Ugh.
towels. So
Is he okay? Is he just tell me he's
I'll get
okay.
there.
Is he Oh, come on.
I'll get there. So
Okay.
Chuck takes off like a bat
I'm
out of
worried.
hell. Well, who do we forget?
His
Ryan, his
father?
17-year-old son,
Oh, the son.
left him at the campsite
Oh, okay. Oh,
because we had
shit.
to go. Last thing he saw was me with my hands in his dad's crotch, putting pressure
Oh, shit.
on a wound.
He didn't think to get the truck? I
It
mean,
would just happen so fast. It was one of those things. That like,
uh,
so he's left there the whole time to wonder what the
wow.
hell happened. So anyway,
And no cell phone. Oh
no
my
cell
god.
phones. Yeah, no cell phones, and no way. I mean, basically the only way to get it was to go out of the campsite, turn left, and then go to the top of the hill, which was a good 5 miles, I think,
Oh my
maybe a little
god.
bit more. But so we go out of the campground, and then Chuck's got a decision to
Oh,
make: turn right or turn left. Turn right to go to Waukon. That's where the hospital is, but it's also a 30 some mile drive. Go left, go to
okay.
the top of the hill, get cell phone service, and then Harper's Ferry, and we have no fucking idea what they have for emergency services there.
Right.
Chuck just turns left.
Oh,
That decision saved his life.
yeah.
100%.
That's good.
Decision
That's
saved his
good.
life. And I'll fast forward to the rest of the story, but we basically were racing up the hill. We get to the top of the hill. Chuck calls 911. 911 dispatcher's like, "What the hell happened?" And Chuck just explains what he knows. And I'm still putting pressure on this thing every time I feel warm. I got his belt applied as a tourniquet eventually. And then, yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of a hard spot to
it's
tourniquet,
very
right?
difficult. But just pulling on it
Yeah.
with all my strength, I can still feel the heat coming through, just pressure and tourniquet. And then we lose the 911 call going back down the hill into Harper's Ferry. But
Oh,
the
shit.
last thing they said was, "Okay, we know where you are." So Chuck just pulls over, leading into Harper's Ferry, and 20 seconds later, volunteer ambulance guy pulls up, and
Oh,
then the
wow.
ambulance
That's
behind
good.
him as Shannon goes into shock. So he's been great the whole time. You know, he engaged people that are trying not to. You don't want them to go into shock, so you engage them, keep the conversation,
Right.
ask them questions, keep their
Yeah.
mind engaged, right? But as they pulled up, he did go into shock and explained everything to the people. They load him in the back of the ambulance and off to Harper's Ferry. And then we got to legally speed with a cop behind us at the hospital. And
You're covered in blood.
get him to the hospital, and the doctors take care of him. But it's really weird because the cut where it was the puncture wound, they couldn't stitch it because yeah, they had to leave it open and to let it heal
Oh,
on its own, which meant
that's odd.
more blood loss. Um, and then he finally gets stabilized an hour and a half later, 2 hours later, a cop's like, we're like, hey, his son is still down at the website. So a sheriff went down to the website to get his son and told him, hey,
Campground.
everything's
Yeah.
okay, relax, you know. So that got taken care of. Tie that loose end up. But he gets into the room, and then he's lucid. He's fine. And we walk into the room, and he looks at us and goes, "Hey, thanks for the ride." His wife had T-shirts made with the year on it said "Thanks for the ride." Uh, yeah, for
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, that's
That was
funny.
pretty cool. So what ended up eventually happening is he came back down to the website, or the campsite, the website.
Campsite. I knew what you
Back
meant.
down to the campsite Sunday night before everybody left. Ended up bleeding out
Mm.
again. Got rushed to University of Iowa Hospital.
Oh,
They said he ended up recycling the entire contents of his blood in his body. All he lost all of his blood, and I mean they
holy.
kept stabbing.
Right,
They
right.
kept feeding him more, but yeah, he lost.
Oh,
But
man.
eventually was able to get it stented and was able to get it proper, and he's still kicking around, still living a long and healthy life right now.
Wow. I bet you he doesn't carry a knife anywhere.
Oh gosh, man. If he's ever irresponsible with a knife, I'm gonna fly to where he is right now and just punch him in the face.
Right?
I got back to the
That's
campsite that night.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I got back to the campsite that night, and yeah, and you nailed it. I'm completely covered in blood from head to toe. My shoes look like I kicked a slaughtered goat. Um, I sit down at the campfire, and I don't know if anybody has experienced anything like this, and I did a couple times in the Marine Corps as well. But that basically that trauma that drains you both emotionally, physically,
Mm,
and it just taps the shit out of you. It makes you feel,
I bet.
yeah, it makes you feel like you've been in a fight with a heavyweight fighter. And I mean, you've got blood all over you, so who's to tell you you haven't been, right? But finally was able to get cleaned up, and after a good night's rest, felt a lot better. But definitely, the story's not about me.
Oh,
But he was, we basically saved his life. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Turning left, that's what did it.
Could you imagine? Oh my
Yeah,
God. That's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So anyway, that's the Yellow River story.
It's a good story.
Man, oh man, I can't believe I forgot that till just now. I'm glad we brought up camping now.
Yeah.
Do we want to do New York versus? We can try
Sure.
it.
Let me get my list.
I know we only got a few left, so
We are on number 35.
all right. New Hampshire.
It's New
That's what
Hampshire?
it says.
We did do New Hampshire
Okay.
already. That was number 17.
Want to redo it since you've just been there?
I don't
I
care.
know. Want to do another one, Kentucky. We do Kentucky. I think we did. We talked about bourbon.
Kentucky. We talked about
Oh,
Tennessee. Yeah, we did Kentucky last time.
oh
Last
yeah,
time.
I thought it was familiar. Florida.
Did we do
I don't
Florida?
know. If we did, it was a long time.
We didn't.
All right,
We did
awesome.
not do
We're gonna
Florida.
have to do another.
Forgot what.
I'm finally gonna ask for the list of the states so we can just pick them as we go. I mean, we're down to like the last
Okay.
few, so we'll get to
Yeah.
that. Anyway, Florida. What?
Florida. I've been there a lot.
What's that?
I've been there a
Right,
lot.
same,
Been there a
same.
lot.
That's New York's favorite vacation
Um,
destination.
yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I've been to Disney.
Definitely not
We went to Disney
camping 50 minutes
in
from your house.
yeah. We went to Disney in 2020, right before COVID
Oh
hit.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was January, right before COVID hit. And Destin, Florida is
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been there. Beautiful.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't.
And Daytona, and my aunt lives in Palm Coast. And we went to Ruskin to visit a friend. Where
All
else?
names I've seen
I
on
don't even know.
signs, but I don't remember if I've actually been there or not.
Ruskin was from Orlando. It was an hour south,
Yeah, probably not.
about yeah, and it was an hour, a little over an hour north to go to Palm Coast. Because when we went to Orlando, we went both directions to visit these people. It's like an hour and a half maybe to Palm
All
Coast
right, so what's your thoughts
from
on
Orlando. It's hot.
it? Very humid.
Um, I'm not a fan of the bugs there or the alligators. But I mean, I would probably move there. I probably would. I
Okay.
probably would.
So I've been to, my mom lived in Jacksonville for a short time. I have gone to Orlando several times to go to Disney World, Epcot, and all that, but that was way back in the day when I was a kid. Haven't been there to Orlando recently. Um, Tampa, my grandparents had a house in Tampa. They had a house in St. Pete. They had a house in Spring Hill, which is north of St. Pete. And my wife and I used to go to Tampa all the time for work. And my wife and I went to vacation at a very popular destination that Allegiant flies to south of Tampa. I can't remember the name. It got hit by a hurricane a couple years ago. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm not going to try to guess. Um,
You weren't. I
so
don't
it
know.
was. It's
I
a.
have no idea.
It, I'll just say this: we went.
A popular destination,
Yeah,
you said?
pretty popular, and it's where Allegiant.
Miami? It's not
It's on the west
Miami.
side, 1 hour south
Oh,
of Tampa. You're gonna make me look.
I don't know. I don't know.
Florida city map. Is that it? That doesn't sound right.
Siesta
Punta
Beach?
Gorda. Yes,
Oh, okay. I've heard of
Punta
that. Yeah.
Gorda. And there's a small town by Punta Gorda where we stayed. But we got an Airbnb. I think it was our 30th wedding anniversary. I think it was. And got an Airbnb and went to the beach.
30 years.
Yeah,
Oof.
I know.
I'm almost there. We're 26,
We're
so
30, shit, 32 now.
we're 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 27 in a couple weeks. So August 2nd, it'll be 27.
Congratulations. Happy early anniversary.
Thanks.
We but went there, and then the year after, the town got completely razed by a hurricane, a nasty one. Rare ones that actually hit the west side instead of just coming in on the Atlantic side like they normally do. But that town,
Hmm.
the beaches where we stayed and everything,
Right, I remember that. I remember that going
I
through
could
there.
go to like Google Maps and like be like, oh, that's where we ate lunch. Now it's a concrete
Oh,
block. That's it.
yeah, that
That's where we ate
sucks. That
breakfast.
sucks.
There's nothing there. Trees all gone. Everything.
That happened to my friend. She went to Jamaica years ago and renewed her vows with her husband, and then her husband passed a couple years later, and then she just went back to Jamaica, and it's all different. Nothing's the same. She went to the same resort and everything. She said nothing's the same because the hurricane knocked it all down and they had to rebuild. So it's all
Yeah,
different now.
that's it. That's it. And I will say, the old the old Punta Gorda and the old, I can't remember the name of the place where we stayed, but the old city was very attractive and very fun. It had a lot of great places to eat. One of my favorite places to go in Tampa while I was there on work was Whiskey Joe's, which had two elevated decks that you could sit over the water and eat your lunch slash dinner or whatever. Had an outdoor bar, had a beach bar with beach chairs and everything. Super cool, and the best damn
Nice.
food. So yeah, I would definitely move to
Yeah.
Florida.
See? I would move to Florida. I would.
That's it.
I absolutely would. I have family there,
Would you?
so they're in Palm Coast, which is right by Daytona.
Oh, nice. We got about 5 more minutes in that glass. So, all right. So, weird alcohol laws. Traditional large celebratory champagne bottle sizes are all illegal. The Methuselahs, Salamanzars, fuck, I don't know how to pronounce this shit. I never ordered this shit in my life. Balthazars and Nebuchadnezzar. I think it's pronounced Nebuchadnezzar. Apparently, Florida lawmakers think size matters. Yeah, they have,
So just the large
yeah, they have a
bottles.
limit to the capacity. So
Okay.
it's illegal to sell hard cider in bottles that hold 32 ounces, but not those that hold 36 or 64.
Wait.
Yep, you heard it right.
Wait.
You heard it right.
Okay.
It's also,
So you can buy a gallon. You can buy a gallon. No, 60. Wait, 64 is a half gallon,
yeah,
right?
64 is a
I
half
think.
gallon.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
illegal to sell it in bottles that hold a gallon or more. So, I mean, you can get crunked up, just not for 32 ounces.
What
They,
the hell? Why is it? Because you can hold that one easier? I
yeah.
don't know. Right?
State law permits diners to take a partly finished bottle of wine home with them, but they can only do so if they've ordered and consumed a meal. Now,
Oh,
this is how deep
there's that
legislators
food
got
thing.
into it. That meal must include an entree, a vegetable or salad, bread, and a beverage.
And that brings me back to COVID when the bars reopened and we had to serve food and we didn't have a kitchen. So we said, "Oh, we'll serve chips," and they said, "Chips aren't good enough."
That's why, because people do that.
So you know what we did? We brought white bread and peanut butter and jelly in.
Yeah, microwave pizzas, always a winner.
We have a little pizza oven in
Oh,
the back, one of those
cool.
countertop
Yeah, I
ones.
love it.
So we do frozen
White pizza's
pizzas.
good,
That's
man.
we don't have a kitchen. Yeah, we get the Red Baron pizzas. They're pretty good.
Hey, when you're drunk, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
also illegal to sell wines in bottles that are more than a gallon, but less than 5.12 gallons. So
Wait. You wait. You can buy 5 gallons of wine. Where can
there
you
ain't
buy that?
5.12. That's very specific.
Where can you buy that? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to
Legal
know.
is a hell of a drug. All right. So anyway, if any of you, Tony and I had some good stories tonight, but if any of you have some good stories, we're a very listener focused podcast. So if you want to put your story on our podcast, feel free to send it to us. Tales of a Small Town Bartender at gmail.com is our Gmail website. We're also at talesofasmalltownbartender.com for our website. And if you want to put some gas in the show's tank, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/toastb. Tales of a Small Town Bartender. Toast B. Buymeacoffee.com/toastb. And our YouTube, where all of our shows are, and we're starting to get this video thing down. You can see this is at
We're trying. We're trying.
at Toast Bartender. We're starting to get it.
I have some
I have so much
pending. Some
confidence.
of them are pending. I'll get them up there. They're there. I can see them, but they say pending, and I don't understand why. And then it said that we're private, and I tried to make them public, and they still say pending, and it's all confusing. I don't know.
We're privately,
But I got the other ones up. I don't understand.
we're privately pending. So stand by.
Yeah, we're privately pending.
So stand by, and then we'll be publicly not pending, and then everything will be right in the world.
Yes,
So,
hopefully.
so what about this Dubby stuff, right? Give me your honest review. Oh, let me
Oh
tell you
yeah,
about it.
you.
So Dubby is a sponsor of the show. Here's Dubby.
Oh, look at you.
Got some.
I didn't bring mine over here.
I got some Dubby. Ordered it. So in what it is it's an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics. The nootropics are basically brain food. I had to look it up, so don't feel bad. Um,
What flavor? What
I
flavor
got
did
the
you get?
same one you did based off your recommendation.
Yeah,
The
it's good, right?
Galaxy Grenade.
Yes. But it was
Yeah,
yummy.
I'm gonna give. I want you to give your honest feedback on it, and I'm gonna give mine. All right. So unlike other energy drinks, W provides them prides themselves on actually developing a clean energy formula that's free from fillers, maltodextrin. Never heard of that, or I have, but it doesn't come from nature.
I have.
And then artificial colorings from gamers to gym junkies to entrepreneurs. W is for anyone who just wants to be better. You can find a link to Dubby in the show's notes and also on our Facebook page. So use that link for us if you
Yes.
would. So, what's your honest feedback on Dubby?
I thought it was
You
delicious.
like it? What about the energy?
I did. Um, I don't know. I don't. I drink a lot of coffee, so
Are you a caffeine junkie? I'm a caffeine junkie.
I'm a coffee junkie.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I noticed any more energy than coffee would give me. You know what I
fair
mean?
enough.
But it does. It has less. I feel like it has less caffeine though, right? I don't know.
I think it's
I don't
pretty
know.
close to the same.
It has more vitamins and stuff
It
in it.
does say it has coffee
So,
extract in it, I think, on the label.
uh, coffee,
Coffee fruit extract. Yeah,
cherry, coffee fruit
coffee
extract.
fruit
Okay.
extract. Yeah, whole coffee fruit extract, Arabica coffee. So, yeah, 100 milligrams of that. So, however many milligrams of caffeine that translates into.
Oh, so then it's less caffeine than coffee. Isn't coffee 120? I'm not
It
sure.
depends.
I don't know.
There's a huge variance.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much coffee you use when you make
The
your
type of
coffee.
coffee, like light, medium, dark roast, how much coffee you put in it. There's a whole, man, it's
Right.
crazy. Brew method. So,
Right. I know people that make a whole pot and put three little scoops in there, and I'm like, is that coffee flavored water?
not water,
Like,
just get it out of the Hudson, lady.
yeah. I like 3 scoops. Like I put like 7.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't know.
I found Dubby, this particular flavor, once again, watermelon or Galaxy Grenade, which is watermelon, guava, and lime explosion is what they call it. But got the powder. It comes in both the powder form. So if we
Mhm,
can make that out, it has powder in there.
mhm. Are you drink a lot of it, huh?
Well, yeah, it does settle after it sits for a little while.
Oh yeah.
It has a little tiny scooper in it, so even though it doesn't seem like a lot, there's a lot of product in there for the price. So that I found was positive. I think the energy from it was I could feel it pretty quickly, but I drink cold brew coffee. I drink a lot of monsters, less monsters after this. But my only detract, and I will say this, I don't know if I was clear headed, but the letdown from it is so much easier than standard monsters
Oh
or
yeah.
coffee. It's just for me, it was just a nice gentle return to earth. So if that's something you suffer with, I think you'd find that.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't notice any come down off of it. So yeah.
Yeah, it was weird because I know when it hit, and then I know when it went down, and I maybe it was clear
Well,
ahead, but
didn't you take too much of
for the
it?
first time I kind of screwed up.
You did tell me
My
that.
eyeballs were vibrating, but yeah. But I actually make half because it is this one is pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to
It
trying
is,
more. But if you like more of a sweet.
but there's no sugar.
There is no
There's
sugar
no
in it.
sugar in it.
Yeah, there is no sugar. Yeah, no crap. And I will say that too. In looking at the ingredients uh, previously, there's no crap in there.
Mhm.
They did make a clean energy drink, so hats off. But yeah, once again, the only thing for me was the sweetness, and I just basically just put less of a scoop.
Put more water. Yeah,
What's that?
just put more water.
Yeah, that's what I do. Just make it a little bit less strong, and it takes the punch right out of it. So, yeah. So if you want, give W a try and send us your review. Let us know how you feel about it. We'll read them, good, bad, ugly, whatever. Once again, tales of the small
Yeah.
town bartender at gmail.com. So really, that's about it. I mean, I guess we got the quote right.
Yep.
So I love this one. This one I found. I tripped across down the list. I have a huge list of these things for future episodes, but this one is from Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. So Ron says clear alcohols are for rich women on diets.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Mine's not clear. Well, it's getting clear because the ice is melting, but
So anyway, that's all I have. You have anything else? You got any footnotes?
nope. I just wanted to, let you know about our anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Sprung that one on you.
So yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And it's really hard to believe it's been a year already, man. It's just
Yeah, it's been a year since we've been doing this.
amazing. We're old salts now. There you go. And getting better. We've gone from uh, the
Yeah.
first show was rough. I mean, bad audio. On my part, I didn't have the best audio setup, and now I got professional, and
Hmm.
you too, Tony, and got ring lights. Like I'm a
Yeah.
doing it for the gram. I'm an influencer in my house. Uh,
Yeah.
we got one of the highlights is definitely getting a sponsor. So very
Yeah.
cool. Never expected to see that. So Tony, thank you very much for not only inviting me but putting up with my antics and over talking. Sean doesn't shut up, as my band eloquently put it, and I appreciate
I love that song.
I appreciate everything that you do for the show because I know a bulk of the work is on your shoulders. So thank you for that. And here's to another year.
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. So thanks everybody again. It couldn't be possible without you guys. Support our sponsor in the link in the show description and also the link on our Facebook page, and let them know that we're a show worth watching. And yeah, you guys, we couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much. We appreciate that greatly, for sure. So
Yes. Thank
keep
you.
on watching, man. We're gonna get better and better. Here's to another year. So for Tales of a Small Town Bartender, I'm Sean.